Hey guys, welcome back. And this time we're going to be talking about is this hero right here, Ku-Tengu, a part of the Budo clan, is he worth getting? So let's go ahead and look at his ability real quick. First of all, the first thing we notice is that his ability will require you to use 5 um, energy. So that is pretty costly. Okay, so and the first ability is called Dark Enzo of Reckoning. It deals 350 magical damage and curse all enemies for 12 seconds. So basically, at level 1, 300, we don't know what I don't at least I don't know what it is at level 50 yet. But the 350 magical damage. But I guess by the time you get level 50, probably maybe a couple thousand. But what that's not really the main thing. That's not as important. What's important is what's next. It's the curse for all enemies for 12 seconds. So it lasts 12 seconds. That's a really long time, especially in this game. And then to go down a little bit further, it explains says that cursed enemies will take 147 magical damage up on landing a critical strike. So if I am reading this correctly, I could be wrong, but if I'm reading this correctly, it says I assume that every time your enemy deals a critical hit, they will take additional damage. So if you go up against a team that basically does nothing but critical hits, that team will suffer quite a bit with this abilities right here. Or you go up a team with this guy, or if you go up another team with Budo clan, a Budo team, that because those team basically does nothing but critical hits. And I mean, it's pretty deadly. I mean, critical hit was what really takes a lot of people out fairly quick. Um, but if you go again with this guy right here, that's all the way. Oh my god! So I didn't know he's that far ahead. Right here, if you go up against team that has him in there, that team's gonna suffer because of that ability. Because he makes sure he gives the whole entire team extra critical hit chance. So with him in there, that could be an issue with if that skill gets activated. So that's the first skill, and it lasts for 12 seconds. That's a one man. That's enough for your hero to commit suicide because the attack lasts for 12 seconds. That's a lot of damage over time. So next one. So this one basically um granting not just him, okay, all allies, uh, basic attacks that deal bonus damage up 75, which is kind of low to begin with, but because it ignores defenses. So whether the opponent is a physical or magical fighter, defenders, whatever the case may be, those heroes will have um their basically their defense stat will have no effect with this guy. So he will attack directly, to the HP. And normally when you have some sort of physical or magical defense, it kind of nerfs that attack down a little bit, so it doesn't hit you as hard. But this one will go directly through it. However, if your hero have a shield or something that start like death throws or no, those shield will not be affected. So you're still gonna have the shield. Um, it's just gonna the only thing it can do is ignore the defense and does the damage directly to the hero. And shield it will count toward hero's health. So that's why it doesn't. I don't think it's gonna affect it at all. So ignores defenses. It's pretty good. That's why you only start with 75 as the damage, and then from the look of this, it's not going to be that high because this is doing direct hit to the enemy. So I can see why they kind of nerfed that down a little bit. And then the third ability, up on any ally's death, he deals 1.6k damage to all enemies. So again, this skill is not that important. This ability here is not that important. 1.6 nothing. I mean, by the time you max it out, maybe 10k around there, 10k, that's not really much. I mean, you have a healer in there. That's Atalanta heals a lot, and same with Resonor. So I don't see this skill ability here as being any useful. And then let's go ahead and jump to the last one. Uh, this last one will basically part of the first ability. Every time you activate the first ability, you also will activate this one. And this one basically enhances his basic attacks, dealing a lot more. Okay, the other one was only this one up here is only 75 to begin with. This one is 404, 2 damage for 12 seconds, ignores defenses. So this skill down here, the fourth ability is the same thing as the second ability, really, except that this time it does um a whole lot more damage to one particular hero, not all of the heroes. Up here is kind of nice where it kind of attacks all the heroes, because all the allies gain this ability, and basically all the allies will benefit. This one only benefits him, but he will do a whole lot more damage. And again, if you upgrade this all the way up, probably gonna be a couple, 10,000. I don't know. Actually, it won't be 10,000. That's way overkill. Maybe about you're looking at about 2K, 3Ks around there. I'm thinking about 2, 3K at the most. I could be wrong. It's just my guess from what I have experienced over time. So, and the room that you can use for this hero, I don't right now we don't know what is magical or I mean not magical, ice or fire awakening skills are. They could be very useful or it could be trash. I don't know yet, but that's something that we should look into the future. But for now, based on what I'm seeing here, um, rune wise, I probably if I'm gonna have him, I'm probably gonna stick him with basic attack speed runes so that he can do more damage. Uh, um, over within since his skill like his ability here lasts with 12 seconds. So if he can do get a few extra hits in there, he will do more damage over time. So that's a good one to put on. But I think another one that's gonna be really good is increase. It depends. So this one is a little tricky because if you use this one, you have to have a group. You have to have the troops. You have to have other Budo's heroes to kind of make it work, which is the increases uh, critical damage bonus. Not the same thing as critical chance. This is critical damage bonus. I think that will work well with any Budo hero actually. So, but anyway, that's for the future when we actually get it and test it out. But for now, from what I'm just seeing here with these four abilities and not knowing what the ice or the fire is, I would say this hero is not as good as the previous two that we had. The previous two Budo heroes, Takeda and Hiromi. Um, we have personally seen how Hiromi in action and Takeda in action already, and they're very deadly. Hiromi, she does a lot. She attacks basically multiple heroes, not just one, multiple heroes at the same time, and she actually does quite a bit of damage to them. Um, she is uh, yeah, and Takeda, he has a lot of health. This guy is insane, man. He has a ton of health, and on top of that, he does his damage is actually very good compared to what I have seen now, and from all the physical defender or magical defenders, their damage. I don't think their damage output can compare to this guy, mainly because of his ability. Well, his ability, he's not that. He's just basically any other um hero like Tethros or Economeli, kind of like those guys, where they don't really do that much damage output. But because of his ability, it makes him pretty deadly. So and of course it costs you 4 energy, so that's not too bad. And on her, it does cost you a little bit more. Like these, you notice these heroes cost quite a little bit more energy, but I think they are definitely worth getting because they do a lot of damage. Especially you have the troop with it, the Budo troops, because of the bonus that they give for critical strike. Is it strike chance? I believe it's critical strike chance. Yeah, critical plus 8 critical strike chance to all friendly Budo heroes, and then top of that's 15.2%. That's a lot. I mean, these guys are very deadly as a group. But if you pick them out, oh man, battery's running low. Compare 1 to 1. This guy is not as good as the other two. But having him with the other two in the group, I think it'd be very beneficial because they kind of do help each other out. And he's not one of those guys where he's a magical. He does a lot of magic. He hits really hard. He's a magical artillery per se, but he doesn't hit as hard as a typical magical artillery does. Hiromi actually more is better. She actually seems to do much more damage than he does, and she is a physical artillery. If I'm not wrong, could be mistaken, but she's her damage output is definitely more than this guy. So but that's basically what we see on paper right now. In action, I have fought with this guy many times already in battle, and it seems to take. It doesn't seem to do enough damage to actually hurt my hero that much. Um, and you guys, if you guys battle him in either stage 1, 2, or 3 in the event hero challenge, you will notice that he's actually significantly easier to beat compared to the other two. Now, I'm saying that now. I hope the developers not gonna go and buff him up like crazy, and then make it really really tough to beat. But just for my what I see now, however, in the when you face against him in the world, or not world, the Alliance Elite boss, he is a little bit tougher to beat there because he has more HP, and the way the system calculated is different than versus this side. Um, because it's not based on individual; it's based on the whole alliance and how strong the alliance is, and it's based on how fast you guys can attack the boss and take him down, or how long, or how slow. And then the next round will change based on how you guys do on the previous round. So you can't use a world boss. No, I keep saying world boss, but the alliance elite boss to compare, um, because that doesn't really because that's on a different um level of calculation. Um, so, but anyway, I think if you have the troops, the Budo troops, and the other Budo heroes ready, definitely get him. If they all benefit each other, but he's not going to be on my top list of Budo hero to get first. So we still have one more Budo hero that's gonna come out next week. Can't wait to see what's it like, and by then we have a pretty good idea of who we actually want to get first. Um, and then certain orders. But anyway, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any question, any suggestion, comments, leave it below, and I'll get back to you guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.